Hello everyone. So today's lesson we're going to be focusing on how to graph lines, but we're going to be graphing not equations but something we call an inequality. So let's go ahead and look at what the difference is going to be here in terms of the equations. So let's look at the very first one, which is what we know how to do, which is graph a linear inequality. So we do the regular, we start on our y-axis at -2. We're going to rise 4, run 3, rise 4, run 3, and then we're going to go backwards, down 4, back 3, and then we connect our line. So we know how to do this. So let's go ahead and see what's going to happen when we have the other two cases where we have the exact same expression on the right side of the sign. In this case, the greater than or equal sign. But how does the graph change? So let's go ahead and start with just graphing the points. The points work exactly the same. We start at -2. We're going to do the exact same thing we did just a minute ago. Rise 4, run 3, and backwards as well. We still connect our line exactly the same way. Now the difference is our symbol we have in front of the y, behind the y equals, which is this greater than or equal to symbol. So when it comes to solutions, it's going to change my solutions because it's not an equal sign. So when I substitute a solution, it's like 5 can equal 5, 7 can equal 7, and it's false when it's like 9 is equal to 10. So in this case, the greater than sign allows me to have more solutions because it's not just an equal sign, it's greater than or equal to. So in this case, points on either side of the line are also going to be solutions to this inequality because it's no longer an equation. So this is where some shading comes into our answer. Since we have the greater than sign, we are going to be shading above the line. So this would be considered the area above the line. And you just do a quick shading with your pencil, just a quick little shading. If you have a highlighter, it might be better. But that's the only difference that we have when we have this inequality. In this case, for a greater than or equal to sign, or for less than or equal to sign. We shade above the line or we shade below the line. Now let's go ahead and look at the next one, which is the third one. Same idea, so let's go ahead and graph the line again. So let's go ahead and put our point at -2, rise 4, run 3 again. Now the difference here compared to the first one and the second one, we do not have a equal to part to this inequality. This is strictly less than. So the change here is we still shade above or below, in this case below the line, but our line is not going to be included as part of the solutions because it's not going to include the equals part. So going back to our first one, that was the answer for the equals. When it has the equal symbol, it's just a simple line. On the third one, we don't have the equal sign, so that means we do not actually have the line. But we still want to draw it to be able to separate the two sides. So in this case, we draw something called like a broken line. This indicates a barrier, but it indicates that the line is really not there. It's just kind of a visual for us to help us. But again, the line is not included as part of our solution, but we do include all the shading points. So we're going to say less than. So again, we have our less than symbol. We're going to shade everything below the line. So all the points in this region are solutions to the inequality. So any point that I pick, if I were to pick this point right here and plug it in, it would be a solution. If I were to pick this point right there, that would also be a solution. If I would pick this point, that would not be a solution. If I were to pick a point on the line, like this one right here, that would not be a solution. All right, let's go ahead and put this together and start writing our notes in. So first thing we do is we graph the points like we have always graphed a linear equation. Start at at the y-intercept, use our slope to rise and run. And if you need to solve for y, we solve for y if it's in standard form. Second thing we do is we draw our line, whether it be solid or broken. Remember the greater than and equal to signs tell us to do a broken line. I'm sorry, not broken, solid, because that has the equals to and it includes the line, versus greater than or less than is just a broken line. Third thing we do is we shade above or below. Again, where we have the less than signs, we shade below because these are the less than signs. And if we have these guys, we shade above because these are the greater than signs. Let's go ahead and do some examples real quick. All right, let's get started with number 1. So number 1, we start at 3, put our point there. We're going to make this into a fraction. We're going to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, all the way through. Just like regular, we always graph our line first, or point for our line first. Then we're going to decide, is this going to be a solid line or a broken line? We look at our inequality. This tells me a broken line because it doesn't have the equal to sign. So the line is not included. So when I draw it, I just draw a dotted line or broken line as best I can. And then from there, I decide, do I shade up or down? This is my greater than sign, so I'm going to shade above or shade up. So I'm going to shade above the line, which would be this section right here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. If you want to go ahead and pause it and do it on your own and come back. So let's go ahead and start at -3 on the y-axis, our y-intercept. We're going to go up 5 and over 2. Up 5 and over 2 would be off the grid. It would be somewhere right there if you want to put that point. Let's go ahead and decide solid or broken line. We're looking at our inequality. That's a less than or equal. Equal means solid line. So we're going to go ahead and connect the points with a solid line. And now we got to decide we go up, shade up or shade down. Again, our symbol is a less than. So we're going to shade down. So again, this would be the downward region right here. It's below the line. Now, if you're having trouble figuring out the above and below, one thing you can always do is just pick a point on the line that you put. Like, let's say on the very first one, like this one right here, and just draw a line vertically going up or going down. In this case, down, this would be down, and this would be considered the up section. So that orange section was shaded on the upward section. Same thing on the other one. I can put a point on the line. Let's say this one. Less than would be draw a vertical line going down. That's the side you're going to shade. All right, let's go move on to the number 3. So again, this is our special line because it starts with x equals. That tells me it's a vertical line. It's the only line that does not intersect the y-axis unless it's at 0. So we're going to put a point at -2. I'm just going to draw a line going up and down, but before I draw my line, I got to check, is it solid or is it broken? So looking at my inequality, less than, no equals, just less than means broken. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my broken line. That's vertical. And now I'm going to shade here. And in this case, it's not going to be up or down because there is no up and down. It's a vertical line. There's only left and right. So in this case, this actually changes. So we're going to cross this out and we're going to put, actually let's cross this part out and we're going to put left or right. This is the only case you'll ever do left or right. In this case, since it's a less than symbol, so less, that would be going to the left. So left side is where the negatives are at. If we go left, and that's going to give us our less than sign. So we're going to shade to the left. So in this case, right here. And let's get to that last one. This last one, first thing is it's not in slope intercept form, it's in standard form. So I need to convert it to from standard form to slope intercept form. So again, 2 steps, move x, divide. So I'm going to move my x term. Does not combine with the 5. They cancel, -5y less than or equal to 5 minus 3x. And then we divide by -5. So we have y. Now, because I divided by a -5, my inequality is going to switch. So I'm going to make sure it has to be a greater than now. Then 5 divided by -5 is -1. 2 negatives become a positive of 3/5 x. So now that I've converted it, now I can go ahead and graph it. I'm going to start at -1. I'm going to rise 3 and run 5. I can go down 3 and back 5. Now I'm going to ask myself, broken or solid? Remember, my inequality switched, so now it's a greater than sign with an equals. So it's going to be solid, because of the equals, and the greater than is going to tell me to shade up. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's draw a solid line. Again, if I'm still having trouble deciding up or down, you can always pick any point and then draw a line going upward, and that's the side you're going to shade on the upper section here. So it's going to be this region here. So I'm going to go ahead and now shade it. So this is going to be my shaded area. All right, and that's pretty much the idea. So the only difference is you're deciding two more things, broken or solid lines when you have an inequality, and if you shade above or below, if it's vertical, left and right. Okay, go ahead and do your IXL and your practice. Good luck.